Throughout our time together, I would like to recommend a few books to you, whether they be old favourites or new discoveries. I'll be providing chapter-by-chapter summaries, background context, and everything else you'll need in order to dive right in. As we embark on our unreal Odyssey, we will need to become better acquainted with how to go about intellectual work. And there is perhaps no better example of how to do this than that of St. Thomas Aquinas. Now, I know what you're thinking. A medieval priest. Seriously. Surely in our enlightened technological age, we have no need to regress to such standards. Yes, that is quite understandable. That is, if you are capable of dictating several manuscripts at once to a team of up to 4 scribes, switching between several complex topics in quick succession. At least that's what Aquinas' early biographers reported. If, however, you are a mere mortal like the rest of us, you might be able to learn a thing or two. Although Aquinas did not write the book we are about to discuss, he did write the letter which became the basis for it. The Intellectual Life by A.G. Sertillanges. Yes, another Dominican priest. Published in 1921, this book expands upon the precepts for academic life which Aquinas recommended to a fellow religious brother. Aquinas' letter reads as follows. Brother John, most dear to me in Christ, since you have asked me how one should set about to acquire the treasure of knowledge, this is my advice to you concerning it, namely, that you should choose to enter not straightway into the ocean, but by way of the little streams. For difficult things ought to be reached by way of easy ones. The following, therefore, is my advice to you concerning your way of living. I urge you to hesitate before speaking, and to hesitate before visiting the common room. Hold fast to the cleanness of your conscience. Do not cease from devoting time to prayer. Love your cell by making constant use of it, if you want to be admitted into the wine cellar. Show yourself to be lovable to everybody, or at least try to do so. But be very familiar with nobody, for too much familiarity breeds contempt and introduces factors which hinder study. Also, do not in any way get yourself involved in the doings and sayings of outsiders. Avoid aimless meanderings above all things. Do not fail to follow in the footsteps of the saints and of sound men. Do not heed by whom a thing is said, but rather what is said you should commit to your memory. What you read, set about to understand, verifying what is doubtful. Strive to put whatever you can into the cupboard of your mind, as though you were wanting to fill a vessel to the brim. Seek not the things that are too high for thee. Follow in the footsteps of that blessed Dominic, who, while he yet had life for his fellow traveller, brought forth and produced foliage, blossom, fruit both serviceable and astonishing, in the vineyard of the Lord of hosts. If you shall have followed these steps, you will be able to attain to whatsoever you have a mind. Fare you well. Now, I know that's a lot to take in. Some of it may seem far-fetched or perhaps even antiquated. However, I believe that the author's skillful elucidation of Aquinas' remarks reveals a wealth of wisdom, which we could all afford to take something from. Today we'll be covering the first chapter of the book. So, grab a notebook and a pen, and let's get started. Chapter 1. The Intellectual Vocation. In this chapter, the author introduces us to the subject of his book, the essence of intellectual work. He makes 3 points in particular. Number 1, the intellectual has a sacred call. Number 2, the intellectual does not stand alone. And number 3, the intellectual belongs to his time. Let's take that first point. Vocation in this context refers to anyone who, and I quote, intends to make intellectual work their life. This not only includes those who are able to pursue this all of the time, but also those who pursue it in addition to the work they already have, as a means of developing their mind. The author is not, however, concerned with a superficial tincture of knowledge, as he puts it. Rather, he understands the intellectual vocation as requiring continual and methodical work. It is only through such efforts that one's consequent mental development will correspond to the sacred call which has brought one to such work in the first place. This sacred call, which should not be taken for granted, is a difficult one that demands much of us and gives much in return. As he explains, we must give ourselves from the heart, if truth is to give itself to us. Truth serves only its slaves. Not all are capable of this undertaking. Prior to embarking upon it, one must work through a lengthy period of self-examination. We must prepare ourselves to the point where we become receptive, or docile as he calls it, so that we might find within ourselves that intersection between what pleases us, as derived from our tendencies and aptitudes, spontaneous impulse, and God's gifts and providence. Put simply, if you are designated as a light bearer, do not go and hide under that bushel the gleam or flame expected of you. The author cautions against the pursuit of the intellectual life for any other reason except this, such as ambition, because in such circumstances, truth becomes subordinate. Regardless of the intellectual's circumstances, whether they are a youth embarking on this journey for the first time, or someone who is already well disciplined, they must not lose courage. A special asceticism belongs to the intellectual, as well as a heroic virtue, and this is their daily portion. Let's turn to his second point. The intellectual does not stand alone. Here we are warned about the two-edged sword that is solitude. It can, on the one hand, be life-giving, and yet to be entirely isolated can have a paralyzing and sterilizing effect. It is, in a word, inhuman. Instead, one should understand one's work as bound up in humanity. As the author explains, to work in a human fashion is to work with the feeling for man, his needs, his greatness, his solidarity, which together binds us in common life. This work is entrenched in the history of the world, the same world on which Christ's cross is planted. One should therefore keep one's gaze on the needy that inhabit it. But more than that, we must identify that which will save our fellow men. It is not enough to alleviate their sufferings. They must be ennobled. This is the task to which our minds are called, to which they must be conscripted. Now, to the third and final point. The intellectual belongs to his time. The author expresses the chaos and heartache of our times far better than I could hope to summarize. And I quote, "Here I am, a man of the 20th century, living in a time of permanent drama, witnessing upheavals such as perhaps the globe never before saw since the mountains rose and the seas were driven into their caverns. What have I to do for this panting, palpitating century?" As we explored in his second point, it is this to which the intellectual is called. He continues, "More than ever before, thought is waiting for men, and men for thought. The world is in danger for lack of life-giving maxims. We are in a train rushing ahead at full speed, with no signals visible. The planet is going it knows not where. Its laws have failed it. Who will give it back its sun? We are not, as he says, the pallbearers of the past. Rather, we who are fortunate enough to be called to this work are in part the bearers of its future. It is nothing short than participating in the renewal of the earth. It is upon this spirit, dear friends, that we must strive forward in our intellectual undertakings.